So in the previous video you may have noticed that none of these pens have birds in them. Why is that? Well, another thing, take it from my advice, build your fence and build your pens before you get the birds. You're gonna save yourself a lot of misery and a lot of money if you know everything's secure before you start bringing birds home. And I know it's a running joke. There's a veterinarian we used to get pheasants from when I was a kid. And he always joked, you know you're a real bird man if you buy the birds, then go home and build the pen. And there's some truth to that. You go to auctions, you go to that kind of thing, swap meets. You're going to bring stuff home and then realize you don't have where you need to go with it that you thought you did. First off, if you're going to be buying from multiple sources on a regular basis, I would go ahead and build a quarantine shed. There's a lot of different ways you'll do this, and as I get mine set up, I'll probably make a video on how I do it. That being said, we moved to this place in November. It's July now, and I've just been slowly trying to get things in line. This fence here was already set up when we got on the property. Had electric fence running on the inside. And so what I'm doing is I'm taking all the insulators off the posts, leaving this fence as is, but then I'm going to take and put the insulators down at ground level on the outside. And I'm going to run my electric fence on the outside at the height that your most common predators are going to be walking along. Now, if I remember correctly, and you can check on some of Joel Salatin's videos, there's kind of a threshold for how far away you want to put your pens from the fence. And the idea is, if you have open space that a predator has to cross with no cover, they're going to be less likely to want to do so. So that's why you don't see these pens jammed right up against the fence line. Yeah, got plenty of room to be putting pens in here, so that's good. Now, originally when I was planning on building, I wanted to build big traditional chicken houses like I grew up with back home. But the more I thought about it, the more I've researched it, it just benefits your bird, especially when you're dealing with small mating groups and not that many breeds, and you're trying to specialize. It really just benefits them as a whole to be able to move the pens as much as possible and keep the ground fresh, keep disease from building up on the ground, that sort of thing. You also don't run the risk of killing off your grass and making it a home for weeds as bad. But being as how we're in southwestern Minnesota, I will have to make some winter pens, and those will be more of a traditional barn style because they're going to need to be able to stand the cold air blowing in, hold in body heat, but still ventilate properly, all of those types of things. Not only that, but the predator population will be more desperate due to limited food sources in the winter, and they're going to be a little more determined to get into your birds. So, again, figure out where you're going to put your stuff. Take the time, clear out obstacles, build a nice fence, build your pens, and then get the birds.